And there is no rainfall at all. It's about 1.5 inches of rain per year, which is impossible to grow any crops. So, of course, the question begs, how on earth did the Nazca people, and of course how the people today, get by? And the answer, of course, is in aquifers from the deep in the earth. And Nazcas built an elaborate array of irrigation systems, and we're about to go down and have a look at the main system of getting fresh water. And this is it, these little tiny spirals. There's heaps of them along here. This one here from the surface probably be about 5 meters, and it's just a spiral. So you know, you would pick up your I suppose bladders of water, put them on top of your llamas, and go up the spiral as I'm going down. And Bob's your uncle, you've got fresh water. But here we are down at the bottom, and as you can see, it's absolutely pure, clear water. It's pretty cool. It's not flowing. I did think that it would be flowing water, which kind of proves that it's just the water. It just seeps out of the sand. So it's just you know, an ancient underground river that follows the natural flow of the riverbed. But there was some rumours going around when I did ask a few questions of people that there was actually tunnels underground, that the Nazca peoples actually built tunnels, which I thought was completely impossible when you think about the soil around here is just sand and these large stones, as you can see behind me, and can't really mine or dig tunnels in this sort of an environment. So I thought it was pretty impossible. So there you go. That's how the Nazca people flourished here. Built this little system of spiral walkways down to the water level, and were able to have fresh water that was filtered through the sand and clean and ready to drink. And these are right throughout. And then what they would do is tap into these guys here. So as you can see, a full array of them there. Massive big sand dune in the background. Tap into those, and with the llamas, and then pour the bladders into little aqueducts like this, and then along the water would go and down and water their fields, or of course would go straight to their little adobe houses, which they have. I can't see any just here, but they have in those valleys up there, and then the villages were all in little valleys like that. Reason being, the wind and the sandstorms here are unbelievable. I mean, the sandstorm this morning that was at the cemetery where all the mummies are was absolutely out of control, and that's fairly normal here. So you really want protected housing, and of course there are earthquakes and all sorts of terrible things, which is why there aren't that many ruins of ancient houses around. You can see them by air. There were quite a few, because of the shadow, because we went up about 6:30 in the morning, you could see that there was outlines of villages all throughout all of these valleys all around here, but I'd say at a ground level you would hardly even notice them as being bumps. So there you go. Pretty phenomenal to exist way out here in the most driest of places I've ever been on Earth. Shocking really, but my hat goes off to them for having lived here for, I think it's 4,000 years? Yeah. As I was saying before, the spiral staircases that are down to the waterline are in no way a moving water. Well, I found out that's a little bit incorrect. A few hundred metres down the way, which is a bit down the slope, probably only about 2 meters gradient, there is flowing water. So they actually did form tunnels, which is, you know, phenomenal, and here's proof of it. As you can see, clearly flowing water coming down, and one would imagine that that is all being tunnelled on through that way, and if we keep going down here, we'll come to a point where it's actually an open channel and goes into the farmland, which is the main section of Nasca irrigation project. And there you go. How phenomenal is that? So the first ones, one would imagine, are for drinking water, and the second ones down here are for the actual open farmland irrigation project. Just amazing. Well, as I said before, it seemed pretty impossible that they could have actually built canals out of the spiral water because it wasn't moving anywhere. Well, that's not true, and the hearsay that I have heard around this region is true, and they did actually build canals underground, which I couldn't think was possible with the sand. So they've obviously opened up the canals and drained a lot of those spirals into a central point to make it possible, and then covered it back over. And those spirals are obviously for drinking water. And then what I found here now, this open canal is for the whole irrigation project, and this is where they source their water from. It's quite phenomenal. There's fish all below me in this waterway. The water obviously is pure because it's coming straight out of the sand. So it's really intriguing to see this. And the tunnel, as you can see, hopefully is sided by the big round river rocks, and has solid blocks on top, which keeps all the sand from falling in. Mammoth project to have made, and so glad that I've got here to be able to see it. And just goes to show you that even a couple of thousand years ago in the Americas, they were as advanced as the Egyptians or any European people for that matter. It's incredible to be able to see this. Behind me, still pretty amazing ruins left by the Nazcas, which were pretty much driven out of here around 900 AD. So damn long time ago. Just goes to show that half an inch of rainfall a year doesn't degrade many of these adobe bricks, which are the mud bricks. It's pretty cool. I mean, the whole ground all around me right here is just littered with pottery and bricks and human bone. It's extraordinary. This is being right in amongst it, and it's just on the side of a hill, not far from town, and there's a lot of these everywhere. You can see from the plane. They're pretty much so littering most of the main sides of the valley floor, where you can obviously get water easily. The main aqueduct wells are only about 800 metres to a kilometre from here, so not so far to bring water, but I'm sure there's water even closer. There's also aqueducts all the way through, so one would imagine they had some sort of system of bringing water either out of the hills or bringing water to this place, and then down little aqueducts through here. So there's actually a system of running water. I don't know, it's just an assumption of mine. There's also this massive big area here, which I don't know what it is. It could very well be, you know, a big water holding facility in itself. I'm not sure, but or it could just be a big square where they played sports and, you know, ancient forms of soccer and basketball. But all in all, phenomenal to be right in amongst it, and it all still to be here. So I'm gonna hopefully tread lightly, not do too much damage, and